What is up, you guys? It's me, your girl, Casey. How you doing? You hear that noise? That's my AC. It won't shut up. I am a dang magician. I was gonna make a funny joke about, wait, that's not the AC vent, that's my heart beating rapidly, seeing your face again. Wink. Flirting. But now that intro is dead, I don't know what to do now. Anyways, I've called you here for a reason. You know what I haven't seen in a while? One of those juicy challenges. You remember the Do I Have That Book challenge? The first line by challenge created by me. But you know what challenge I want to do today? The reread, rewrite, or burn challenge, where I write out titles of a book in ink and put them on slips of paper. Then I wiggle and jiggle and just like mix up the pieces of paper in my little purse. Then I have to draw out 3 slips of paper. And with these 3 slips of papers, these 3 little books who I decides the fate of, I have to decide if I'm gonna reread one of these books, rewrite one of these books, or burn one of these books. I got to me a nice little mix of books I love, books I like, and books I despise. So if you guys are ready, let's see what sort of arson I'll commit. I actually have no idea how many entries I put in this purse, so we're just gonna keep going until we run out. Okay, first book is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, followed by The Wife Between Us, one of the first thriller books I've ever read and one of my favorites. And lastly, we have Six of Crows. Oh dang, I like all these books. Like, literally, Six of Crows, The Wife Between Us, those are 5 stars. Skyward was a 4 stars for me. Not because anything wrong with that book. It just takes a lot for me to get into sci-fi. Okay, the obvious one that I would just reread is Six of Crows because I honestly need to. The Netflix series just came out and I cannot remember anything, well, most of the little tiny plot points that happened in the Six of Crows and Grisha worlds. I would not touch a hair on Six of Crows' beautiful Kaz Breckerhead. Oh, Kaz Breckerhead is handsome as hell. Oh, get out. I mean, I would get rid of why Len? Why is he in the book? There's a reason he doesn't have a point of view chapter in the first Six of Crow books, because he's dumb. Actually, everybody was kind of dumb in that book. Why are the 5 crows bringing the 6th crow, Wylan, with them to a hostage situation? Well, it's not that he's the hostage, and they have to go do a heist. Why they go do a heist, and they gotta lug a hostage with them who has, like, no thieving skills? Oh yeah, because we have to have another couple in this book, because Leigh Bardugo cannot have single characters besides the Darkling, who deserves all the women. Especially me. Okay, I would have decided this. I would rewrite Skyward because I love that book. It was really good. Brandon Sanderson did great for YA. However, there's this, I can't even remember his name. There's this male love interest. I don't remember his name, but he and Spenza, the main female protagonist, they got this thing going on, this rivalry that turns into smoldering hot embers. I think, well, it's not really smoldering hot embers. I'm being nice. It's like they're in love, but it wasn't really built up that well. I would rewrite it so that romance is done even better. And then I guess gotta burn The Wife Between Us. I'm sorry. Booktube made me do it. That's what I say to myself when I'm buying books in bookstores all the time. Booktube made me do it. Okay, next 3 that are up to die. We got, Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock. I hate this book. Followed by Kafka on the Shore. Okay, so now we're getting to the bad bunch. Did I shuffle these well? Oh my gosh. And now Twilight. So I got some configuring to do. But first off, do you think I'm actually gonna burn or rewrite Twilight? No, that's downright sacrilegious. That is a book to write a passage, to read Twilight. It has changed the face of bookdom forever. It has given us examples on what not to do with a female protagonist. Thus, it is a benefit to our society. I wouldn't touch it, except to embrace it. So Twilight remains safe. And yeah, I need to reread it because I want to read the new Edward book that came out. I'm very late on that one. Okay. If you've been here for a while, you know I hate Kafka on the Shore, but I would not burn it because Haruki Murakami has a very lovely writing style. And also, the reason why I hated Kafka on the Shore so much is that it started off very good for me. Then around the 150 mark, 150 pages, it went from a 5-star to a 1. The further I got into the book and all the crazy, stupid, magical realism, metaphorical nonsense happened. So I would rewrite Kafka on the Shore and just give it one simple fix. I'd give it a plot. And lastly, I would definitely burn Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock. Like, it's a story concept that I would love to root for the protagonist for. But the protagonist, he's got a stick. No, he has an entire forest just jammed off of his booty. Just jammed up his booty, his poo shoot. He is so unlikable. Like, even everybody in the book, they're like, stay away from me. And it starts with a very cool revenge concept. Leonard wants to kill his best friend who did something horrible to him. I like that. Then he's gonna kill himself afterwards. Okay, drama. But then that fast-paced plot, it ends just so with a shrug, like, did we even learn anything here? It's a pretty basic concept. If we burn it, we wouldn't miss it. Go ahead, throw all your copies into the fire. No one would notice. I am sorry, Leonard Peacock, but you should be begging me for forgiveness. Round 3. We have The Fault in Our Stars, the very first book I read to get started into Booktube. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And lastly, Percy Jackson. We'll do the first book, even though I like the whole series. So we got my nostalgia childhood, the first book that made me weep, and the book that I I started out hating, threw away, re-rented it from the library so I could actually finish it and make a rant review about it. And then I ended up loving it. So I like all these books. And because Ninth House beat all of the odds against me, I'm gonna keep it alive. It deserves to be reread, and I really want to reread it because there's gonna be a sequel and I need to know what happened. I gotta do it for Darlington. The teenagers in The Fault in Our Stars they could be a little pretentious. I mean, it's John Green. Everyone thinks they're so smart. And Percy Jackson, it's got that funny humor. One of the real book series that got me into reading, but The Fault in Our Stars was pretty funny too. I think though nostalgia is gonna win out, and I've been like thinking for the reread section. That was Ninth House. Which one am I gonna rewrite? Can I rewrite the Percy Jackson movie? I mean, with all of my credentials as a writer, author, screenwriter, I could make a better film than this. Okay, I decided. I'm going to burn Percy Jackson because the memory of the bad movie is like causing me physical pain. We're going to rewrite The Fault in the Stars so a certain death doesn't happen, so I can be happy and stop crying. Round 4, we have Cinder, the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, also one of the first books I read for Booktube, King of Scars, Leigh Bardugo, and Oathbringer. Okay, this is a really good group of books. I already have the answer. I would 100% yeet King of Scars into the pits of Tartarus, apparently along with Percy Jackson, because half of the book is our characters stuck in a sandcastle. Do you think that makes for great entertainment? Nyet. No. Also, again, Leigh Bardugo can't keep her couples single. Well, couples can't be single because they're couples. She can't have a person be single for like 100 pages. So, some rushed romances that aren't, tantalizing. I'm not all hot and bothered. Try again, please. Finish writing Six of Crows 3 or the sequel to Ninth House. I would definitely rewrite Oathbringer. If you don't know, or you don't know me, or you don't know this book, Book 3 of the Stormlight Archive, there are a lot of scenes that I talked about in my whole separate review for it that I have filmed. Go look at it. There are so many scenes that I felt could just be like ripped out of the book, and that new time that we have, because it's a 1,600 page book, now we have extra time to focus on a different character. Someone else who may be, hiking back to his homeland to warn his family about an impending rock monster invasion. Someone, maybe that same guy who has to team up with multiple adversaries throughout the course of the book and usually has to lose a few new friends, but we don't care because we didn't spend enough time with those people. Yeah, I might rewrite that so that we could spend time with people before they die. Make me start caring. Mishandled moments, but overall still a good book. I gave it a 3. And finally, I would reread Cinder. I think it's a very clever YA retelling on all the, classic fairy tale stories. Round 5, I think. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, aka The Devil. Not because she's an awful person. I've never met her. I don't know if she's bad, but she does things to my heart that I don't approve of. Looking for Alaska. And finally, An Enchantment of Ravens. Ooh. So, yeah, Looking for Alaska is gonna be burned. Because John Green books, it's always a smarter than average person, usually a boy, sometimes a girl, like in The Fault in Our Stars, this individual meets a very quirky character that turns their whole world upside down. Usually something awful happens to them. And the insanely quirky character, Alaska, in Looking for Alaska, annoyed the heck out of me. Although I did really like the smarter than average guy. He was kind of cool. I remember this one scene where the kids are running down a hallway for some reason. I think they just did some massive prank. And our main protagonist guy, he's running. I think he slipped, but no matter what happened, he ends up hitting his head. So he's just like, and then he like slowly sinks to the ground. He just sits crisscross applesauce. And all his friends who are still running, they're like, what the heck are you doing, man? Get up, we gotta go. And our dude is like, I am concussed. What are you doing? I am concussed. That is exactly what I would do if someone hurt me. You stabbed me with a knife and there's still peanut butter on the knife. Where was I? Oh yeah. An Enchantment of Ravens. I would rewrite that book. I love that book. Love it, love it, love it, love it. But it's only like 250 pages. I would rewrite it so it would just be bigger. Like, we're gonna go crazy into the fairy lore. Also, its ending was a tad bit rushed, so we can stretch that out a little bit. Take out too many of the very fancy but pretty sounding words. Overall, still a good book. And yeah, I'm gonna reread The Assassin's Apprentice. Robin Hobb. You hurt me and I love it. That series has a lot of dogs in it. Don't get attached to any of them. Round 6. Priory of the Orange Tree, aka Inuyasha ripoff. Book 2, Name of the Wind. And lastly, Caraval. Looks like it's a fantasy parade. Alright, straight away, we're gonna rewrite Caraval, because I just recently read that series. I was very meh about Caraval. Within the next 2 books, if you're a sucker for some love triangles, go to it. Run for the circus. But the first book, I mean, we gotta rewrite Scarlet, like as a whole. She's too uptight, man, and she keeps talking about colors. Like, she can't look at someone without describing, oh, how the candy pink toes of merriment ricochet off of his laughter. Shut up. And making me wish I was colorblind. I think I actually am colorblind. Whenever I say something's blue, people are like, Casey, that's green. No wonder I drive crazy. Also, in the second and third book of the Caraval series, there's a lot of, not world building, that's a bit of a grand term, but there's a lot more of the world introduced. Like, we got these things called fates that are like the trickster magical gods who were, you know, reigning over the world. Then they got imprisoned and now they're like slowly busting out of prison, gonna cause some havoc. You think any of that was mentioned in book 1? You would think so, but it wasn't. The most important thing in Caraval is the pair of sisters, their grandmother's backstory, because apparently it's all wrapped up in Caraval. You think that grandma is ever mentioned again in the next 2 books? No, it just needs a little overhaul. Still a lovely series. Jax is mine. I love that man. And he loves apples. We are 100% going to reread Name of the Wind. Like, honestly, I really need to reread Name of the Wind. I love Quoth. I know his name is pronounced Quoth. I don't like that. And lastly, we're gonna burn Priory of the Orange Tree. It has some nice world building. Everything else was bad. Like, we had 4 point of views in that book. Maid girl, queen girl, dragon girl, cranky old man. Don't like cranky old man. Maid girl was fine. Wait, no, queen girl didn't have a point of view. I meant really nice guy. That's it. Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy was boring and cranky guy is cranky guy. Maid girl was fine. Dragon girl, girl who's riding dragons, training with dragons. That's who I was really excited about. The author of this book was super slow and character developing, which I like, with Maid Girl, who's really the main protagonist of this quartet. But with Dragon Girl, like, she was Miss Exposition and rushed. And it was the part I was looking forward to the most. Also, there wasn't enough dragons in this book. So that's a big no-no for me. I'm simple to please, just give me dragons. I used to have a bearded dragon. Her name was Cece. She would try to eat Skittles. Okay, I only have 2 slips of paper left. Harry Potter, Order of the Phoenix, my favorite of the series. A Darker Shade of Magic, and okay, while we're here, I'll think of one. Wait a second. I know I'm missing a piece of paper because I know I wrote this. Because I know it's my favorite book of all time, so why wouldn't I write it? There it is, you little Dickens. Oh wait, I actually have a lot more in here. You know what? We're just gonna hunt for eldest and we'll call it a day. Never mind. I have exactly 3 more slips, so we'll just continue as is anyways. Order of the Phoenix, Darker Shade of Magic, Eldest, some of my favorite books of all time. We're going to rewrite Darker Shade of Magic, just make it a little bit longer, because we're thinking about the first book in the trilogy right now. And there was these like evil twins who were like the big villains in that book. They didn't get enough screen time and they were crazy and I loved them, so I want more of them. So I'm gonna make the book a little bigger, take a little bit of the spotlight off of Lila, whatever her name is, and we're gonna develop our villain some. Now, which one of these two are we going to burn? Look, you have to ask. We're gonna burn Eldest. Why? Because I have that book memorized, okay? You can't cleave yourself and part of your soul.
You obviously haven't read Harry Potter.
Your soul's with you always. You may have burned Eldest's physical manifestation, but you can't take the Eldest out of the Casey. And then we'll reread Harry Potter book 5. I love Eldest. Okay, final round. We have Good Omens. Next we have Penny. Nice. The Room. And then Dark Matter. I know immediately which one I want to rewrite. Good Omens. That final battle, the climax between the Antichrist and his gang, all the demons, and then our, humorous angel and angel and demon duo. That little thing, boring. Like, no. All they did was talk about their feelings. Someone, I think, snapped and everything was put back to right. Everything is happy with the world, blah, blah, blah. If the Antichrist and a horde of demons enter the scene, I should be jumping out of my seats. I was not. I was reclining in my seat. Why? Because I was falling asleep. I would burn The Room. I love The Room. It's just, I have to pick this one because I have to. Because the other option is Dark Matter, which I loved. So reread that. I mean, that book, that's one of those plot twists that actually made me go, ooh, smart and good. The Room is actually a really good book and I think you should read it. Although it's from a 5-year-old point of view, and I know some people don't actually like reading from children's point of views in books. I enjoy it because I have the mind of a 5-year-old, so I enjoy the rep. And anyways, guys, that's the video. Here, have a lucky penny. Thank you guys so much for watching. I like you. I really do. I think about you every night as I lower a pillow slowly over your sleeping. Thank you guys for watching so much. But until next time, stay reading, my friends.